Today, we are going to learn about problem solving with inches. The rest of this week, you have been learning about what an inch is, how you can measure an inch, and how you can estimate how long or how many inches something is. Before we really get into measuring with a ruler or measuring tape with inches or feet, we're going to try solving some word problems with inches as a label. We're going to discuss how drawing a diagram or a picture can help when solving problems about length. In this lesson, you'll solve word problems involving length in inches by drawing a diagram and writing a number sentence to help you solve. You can follow these steps when solving any word problem about length. Let's look at the first word problem example. Carmen has a string that is 13 inches long and a string that is 8 inches long. How many inches of string does she have now? The good thing about this word problem is that we don't need to measure, we don't need to have a ruler, and we don't need to have string. We have all of the information we need. Let's look at the steps that we could take to solve this word problem. Step 1. What do you need to find? We first need to figure out what the word problem is asking. Look at the question to decide what you need to find for your answer. This question asks you to find how many inches of string Carmen has. I know that this means I will need to use addition because the story problem is telling me that she didn't get rid of any, that she has two different strings, and that word now gives me a clue that we're going to add. Step 2, what information do you need to use? We need to figure out what information is in the problem and decide what is important and then what is not important. I know her name is Carmen and I know that she has strings, but this doesn't really matter. I can think about her name as something different and it wouldn't change the problem. I could think about the object as something different and it wouldn't change the problem. I have to think, what lengths of string does Carmen have? This is what's important. I know that she has one that's 13 inches and another that's 8 inches. These two pieces of information, these two lengths, are the most important parts of my problem. Which brings me to step 3. We have to show how to solve the problem. We can draw a diagram using a number line. We can draw to show the lengths of string that Carmen has. We already know that we need to add the two lengths together, so we will need to use a number sentence to model the problem. I know that my two important pieces of information were 13 inches, which I show with the purple bar, and 8 inches, which I show with a blue bar. Right now on my number line, my two important pieces of information are on top of each other. When I'm adding them, I need to put them together. I now know that 13 inches plus another 8 inches gets me to 21 inches in total. I know that my label is inches. I used my two important pieces of information and I showed my problem with a model and a number sentence. Let's look at a second word problem. This word problem says, Eli has a cube train that is 24 inches long. He removes 9 inches of cubes from the cube train. How long is Eli's cube train now? Again, we need to figure out what we need to find by looking at the question. This question asks how many inches Eli's train is now, but if I'm thinking about the story problem, I know that he got rid of something. It says he removes 9 inches. I know that when something is removed, I will need to use subtraction to solve. Step 2. What information do you need to use? I know his name is Eli and I know that he's using cubes, but these aren't the important parts of the problem. The important parts are thinking about what length Eli started with, which is 24 inches to start, and what length he removed or got rid of, which is 9 inches removed. Now that I have my two important pieces of information, I can use them similar to the last example with a model and a number sentence. The difference here is that my number sentence is going to be subtraction since I know he removed some. Another difference is that my 24-inch bar is long on my number line. Right now, you still see them overlapped. If you remember back to the problem where we had addition, the next slide would have been that I put them side by side. Notice the difference when I solve the problem for subtraction. Even though I started with 24 inches of a cube train, he took away 9 of those inches. Taking away the 9 inches in blue leaves me with 15 inches total. Again, I knew that my label was inches, and I'm showing my answer with a model and a number sentence. You can use this model, this number sentence, and these steps with any word problem involving length. When you go to do your reteach page today, follow these steps using a number line or a drawing or a number sentence. And as always, let me know if you have any questions.